Barbeck is a proud sponsor of local H&R Preps.
Kelly, I just got a new cell phone. It's awesome. And I just shot a video of Nick at the game tonight. Oh my God, he is so cute. I'll send it to you right now.
We help you stay connected with a cute picture here and there. Buy local. Buy Barbeck.
Hello and welcome to this week's Preps Preview alongside Justin Conn. I'm Leroy Bridges. We're just going to dive right into our top fives this week, and we're going to make some history here. You can start off 2 weeks in a row.
Oh, man, I was going to make you start off because I didn't think last week went well with me starting off. Number 5, I have Maroa, and I debated whether to keep them even in the poll just because. Wow. Well, I mean, you're talking about 5 teams. We have a lot of good teams.
We do have a lot, but keeping them in. Whew, hard on the Trojans.
Well, you just don't know what you're going to get from them week to week at this point. I mean, they're either going to be one of the best football teams in the state, or they don't quite show up. So it's a little bit confusing with them. Number 4, Mount Zion. Since that week 1 loss, they've pretty much rolled. Number 3, Casey Westfield. They're the only undefeated team in the area, which right. I don't know. It's been a while. I think since they were the only team, or it was only one team that was undefeated going into the playoffs.
And really only one big win, but I mean, you still got to go out there and win.
That's right. Number 2, Pena. Saw Pena for the first time Friday. Really impressed with them. Big, physical team. Like them a lot. Number 1, I'm sticking with Tuscola. To me, they had the loss to Maroa, but besides that, they've been solid all year and still the favorites to win state.
That's a good horse to bet on. Yeah. I mean, come on. Checking in at number 5, I was kind of glanced down here. I'm going to change it just on the fly here. I'm going to drop. I'm going to drop Maroa another spot. I had dropped him a little bit and put him at 5. I had him at 4 originally coming in. That's how fluid my top 5 is. I can just change it, just like that. St. T going to check in at 4. Mount Zion still isn't on my top 5. I will be seeing them, I think, on Friday night. So maybe they'll impress me enough to make it for next week. Coming in at number 3 is Casey Westfield. Like we said, only undefeated team in the area. It'll be interesting to see what they can do in the playoffs because I think we'll probably learn a little bit more about that team. Yeah. Number 2, Tuscola, and my number 1 team still are the Pena Panthers. I know maybe their schedule isn't as strong as maybe some people think, but they're impressive defensively, and they can run the ball with the best of them.
Right, and we talked about right before we came in here that I think the South Central Conference maybe is a little underrated.
Yes,
I think there's some really good teams, and there's not a lot of bad teams at the bottom like there are in some conferences.
For sure. We're going to transition into just talking about some of the dream, nightmare, and reality scenarios that we talked about in week 1 or going into the season. Right, yeah. That's kind of how we preview this year. And looking back, we've had 8 weeks now. It's week 9 coming up on Friday. Just taking out a couple things that maybe we hit on the head, or maybe some teams hit those dream, or maybe fell down in the nightmare. So you can start it off, Justin. What's one team?
We'll talk about first Sullivan, Okaw Valley, a team that our dream scenario for them was 2 or 3 wins, and we kind of said that they had some experience at some key positions, and if Frericks and Sweeney could have good years, maybe they get 2 or 3 wins. Well, they have 3 now. They play Clinton Friday, so they can actually exceed what we said was their dream season. Obviously, the influx of talent they had, a lot of much bigger numbers than was expected, was big for them. So, there's a team. We didn't have a lot of teams that hit the dream scenario. So that was one of them that even sort of has a chance at least to exceed it. The nightmare scenario that hit exactly was Eisenhower. We thought maybe they could win 4 games, maybe even 5. And I think that the nightmare scenario that we laid out was they get off to a slow start, confidence crumbles, they start having roster issues because the roster was already short going into the season, and they could have their 3rd winless season in 4 years, and it looks like that's going to happen.
Yeah. That script is too easy to write, unfortunately, I think, at this point. Looking on my side, another team that pretty much hit our dream mark for them was Arcola. Looking at likely a 6-3 season, they just have to go out and beat a winless Arthur Lovington team this week. And Gerald Temples has come in and solidified himself, made the kids respect him as a coach, and they're riding the back of Garrison Stinger and turned into a pretty good LLVC team that 1A teams might need to watch for because they can run the ball. I mean, Garrison Stinger is a beast in the backfield.
Right, and that style just seems to play well in the playoffs. That defense and ball control, it does. It seems like you can get a win even maybe if you're not the most supremely talented team if you have that style.
Yeah, and then just kind of looking at a bunch of other really good teams in the area, Mount Zion, Tuscola, Pana, St. T, Maroa. These are 5 teams that really these next couple weeks and playoffs, because they're so good, it's going to dictate where they fall.
Yeah.
Is it going to be a nightmare or dream season? Because these teams are so talented and so good that their season has yet to be determined, because they want it to be known in the playoffs what they can do. And I think at least three of those teams could definitely make a long run of the playoffs.
Right. And if, Maroa doesn't get maybe the greatest, if they come out and play like they did last week,
exactly,
and all of a sudden
you're be done early,
and you're looking at the nightmare scenario we laid out.
Yeah. Just kind of looking ahead as we talk playoffs. Saturday, the pairings come out. What's one thing that you're kind of looking at on Saturday?
All right, bear with me here a little bit. But they have there's a new, IHSA laid down a new mandate this year. Previously, basically every year they take 32 teams in each class, split it into 2, 16, 16. They usually do it north and south.
Sure.
And then from there, they'll sometimes split it again into quadrants.
Yeah.
And they do that if there's more than one team, or there's more than one game, I should say, with a travel distance of 150 miles or more. This year they're changing that, making it, if that creates more travel, which it has in the past, they'll do that, and then all of a sudden there's more total travel. They're not going to do that. They'll just keep it with 16. I like that. Personally, I wish and I've said this, been very vocal about this in the past, that I wish they would do it 32 plays 1, 31 plays 2. I really wish they would do that. And this
a true bracket,
exactly,
style bracket,
exactly,
regardless of travel.
Right. This gets a little closer to that, and I think that, and I understand the travel concerns, but I guess my feeling has always been that that's part of the fun of it for me. But
it's football. I mean, this is what everybody plays for. Let it just be the true matchups.
Right, and they have such a great system. It's set up very well, and it seems to me like that they do it perfect up until this last thing where all of a sudden they kind of wishy-washy, at the end.
I'm looking. My eyes are going to be on the 1A bracket, and specifically A&M. I know last year they were in 2A. They're in 1A this year, and Maroa beat them twice last season. Tuscola is going to kind of be that team to watch for A&M, and it'd be important to see kind of where they're going to line up. I would expect A&M, the way they played last week against Maroa and the way they're running the ball, to make a pretty good run in the playoffs.
Absolutely.
And it's going to come up to trying to beat Tuscola, a team that they hung with for about 3 quarters and then Tuscola ran away with. And Tuscola's done that to a lot of teams this year. So I'm going to be kind of watching to see where the Raiders fall.
Yeah, that should be interesting. Final week of the season.
Yeah, I'm excited. Exciting time. We're also still looking for athletes. If you're making college decisions, make sure you hit up HR Sports at herald-review.com. Just send us your information. We'll try to get you on here, put together a little show with that. We'll be out there. Make sure you check out the blogs and hit us up on Twitter.
See you out there.